countries in the world, was most famous for is being independent and having many rights from other countries that we'll never get to experience. But imagine, if all the rights that this country had to offer made by our founding fathers was gone, many would be miserable. But why tolerate this matter when the time is now? We have to start preparation when this time comes, and when it does, we will be prepared. So to protect our rights and freedom and our independence is our military. So there is really only one suggestion, and that is to have forced draft on the military. Many U.S. civilians are needed in the war, but the Army has a lot of wounded soldiers that need medical attention. But nobody is volunteering in the Army as frequently as they used to. In this draft, if this draft is now a requirement for the U.S. bonus budgets will be raised more to $238 million instead of $166 million. We should bring back the military draft to improve the quality of troops so we can win more wars and have a better chance of being a united country. It is also intended that this draft will bring a safer country. The military will also increase its maximum enlistment age from 35 to 40. It's also hard when you want to go to college still go to the military. But in this draft, you can still apply for college for a maximum of 4 years and still get to go to college without being forced while. If you don't think that you're not cut out for the military based on your strength, but 90% of troops got in by their high school diploma. So ask yourself, would you rather want more troops to defend or less troops to lose?
If drafting were to be accepted, there would be less jobs taken. And when there are less jobs taken, there are more open slots. So when people go to high school, they can't go to college, so then they can't try and go in and fill in those slots. And it will also weaken our economy by a lot because those jobs will not be taken. And the U.S. debt clock currently says we're $17 trillion in debt. So do we really want to add more to this by training these troops? Because when we train, we deploy them, it adds more money to it, so then we're even more in debt. So I think we should decrease it and stop this action.
If America reinstated the draft, there would be several complications, among which include an extreme cost of too many troops and violating our rights under the Constitution. First off, the cost of training an army of draftees is incredibly high. The cost of training about 1.5 million draftees a year is about $3 trillion and $1 trillion more to maintain. Who in their right mind would put the country farther in debt than the $17 trillion we already have? Why would we need a military 10 times larger than we need and puts about $4 trillion on every year? And after this, only a fifth of it would be used. Secondly, we would have too many troops. If we drafted troops, the temptation to waste them in useless engagements would be an imminent threat. During the Civil War, without draft, how would the many troops be replaced? Finally, drafted people violate their rights under the Constitution. In the Bill of Rights, the First Amendment states that we have freedom of religion. Drafting, or in general going to war, is against some people's beliefs. America has always prided itself in being a free country. How are we free if we are forced into the military? We also have the right to be educated. We don't have much of an opportunity to go to college if American people are forced into the military.
Opponent may say that we have a $17 trillion debt and we shouldn't make it deeper. I agree, but we don't have to make it deeper by training troops. We can train them for free. People don't really have to volunteer to be in our army. If we're going to war and we need troops, we can't do the forced draft. But if there are no troops left, we are going to need people to defend our country.